So excellent question here. Hi Alpesh, hope you're doing well. I have a question regarding selling stocks. I have an account, not my retirement account, that has $19,000 in 12 different stocks. How do you decide which stocks to sell and which to keep? I'm looking to sell about $2,000 worth. Some have gains, some don't. Any guidance that you can provide would be greatly appreciated. I fully understand any guidance that you provide is not to be taken in any way as financial advice. And then he provides me a detailed breakdown of his portfolio. Now, there's several ways in which people go about this. One way that some people use is they'll just say, okay, have I got any with large losses that I've been sitting on for a long time? You know, if you're down 84 or 96%, actually, if you're down 96%, you probably haven't got much worth selling anyway. And they'll take the view, I think I'll sell those. Others will say, no, they're down by such a large amount, I'm going to hold on to them. Now, all other things being equal, there isn't a right answer to that. You should be aware of the bias which makes us hold on to losses longer than profits, and we hold on to poor performing companies which continue to perform poorly and give up the gains, all other things being equal, in profitable ones. So let's look at the things that we're excluding, because we can't just pick based on the size of the loss or the size of the gain alone, but we should be aware of the bias. So we then look at the individual equities. Now, I, on the whole, look at companies which I've been holding for 12 months and then review. And I make a determination not based on their historic gain to date, because that's just one factor as to how they might perform in the future. Neither do I look at it on the basis of, well, I own it, therefore I'll hold on to it, because the stock market performance in the next 12 months is not going to be determined by what's in Alpesh Patel's portfolio or anybody else's. So that's an irrelevant factor. So I look at it with a blank sheet of paper and I say, okay, which one of these meet my criteria? My criteria based on valuation, price earnings growth, revenue growth, dividend yields, volatility. Now, in this particular market, those strategic points, value, growth, income, momentum, cash flow, they're one thing to look at. And then there's tactical issues, such as I probably want to keep hold of low volatility, larger cap stocks. I suspect they'll do better. I'll feel better for having them. So I'm probably loath to get rid of, say, an Amazon, and more likely, or for instance, I happen to know, yesterday I looked at Johnson & Johnson, thought, oh, this looks rather attractive. I don't happen to own it at the moment, and say, actually, it's ticking a lot of my boxes. I'm loath to get rid of a Microsoft, even though I think in the short term it might fall, because it's one of the larger, lower volatility ones, which meets a lot of my criteria. And I'm more likely to get rid of the ones which are smaller and have gone perhaps nowhere instead. So, to give an example, and this is not necessarily the one I'd pick, but let's say Intel. And I say, oh God, you know what? It's only gone about 6%. I haven't really lost much by getting out of it. And it doesn't tick all my boxes in any event. The alternative, of course, is you could just pro rata, if you're looking to take out some cash, pro rata, just say, you know what? I'll just take 10% off each of these. I've got $20,000 worth of stocks. I'll take 10% off those. There's a commission issue potentially there by having 10 transactions instead of one. And that could be rather expensive. You might say, you know, I'll take it off these 5. But that's just some of my thinking, which hopefully will assist you when thinking about this common issue of how do I know which ones to sell.